Let's get it. Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, my co-host, the voice of MMA in Utah, Mr. Zack Partridge.
Bro, I feel like we haven't podcasted in forever.
I don't like this 2 times a week, man. We got to have a day in the between to break it up a little bit. Even if we just get on for like 5 minutes, just say something.
Oh, I'll say something.
I know you
Where's my
always have
fight?
something.
Where's my fighter spotlight?
It's coming up next week.
Okay, next week.
Yeah, you have your fighter spotlight coming up next week.
Is Justin going to come on with you?
Yeah, Justin's going to come on. Yep. Got that lined up. Dalton said he'd fill in.
I'll tune in.
How's training?
I don't know. How was it? You came up Wednesday.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. Actually, it was a lot of fun coming up Wednesday. I clicked through a few of the videos on there that our video guy took. We had a video guy come and record for our website and for our YouTube channel.
Full disclosure, I was just messing around with my stuff, trying to pick something up, and I just spilled my rain. And you spilled your monster right before we went on air.
Literally 2 seconds before we go live.
Dang it. 1 second. Talk a little. You can talk about a little bit about training.
So I went up to Zack's to One Hit on Wednesday, and they do the Shark Tank for all the guys that are training up there. Jesus, Marco, Tyson, AJ, Zack. Sorry if I'm missing anybody, but I know those guys all did their Shark Tanks up there. It was awesome. It was a good time. I got to get in there. I got to get in there and do a little bit. Get to do a little sparring with everybody. It was fun, man.
Who hit you the hardest?
Nobody really hit me hard. Wow. I would say Tyson probably hit me the most.
Yeah.
He's sneaky good. Like sneaky good.
Sneaky good.
Yeah, no, everybody's super respectful. They all know I don't fight, so everybody's, nobody was going super heavy.
I mean,
Trunzo was the other one. I thought I missed somebody. I knew Trunzo was the other guy.
Yeah, Mike can crack a little.
But it was fun, man. It was you could he can punch too. Nobody cracked me hard. They could have. They easily could have. But I'm the old man, dude. Like I'm the senior citizen.
No, you're not. That's Rowdy Acres, dog.
But in that group on Wednesday, I was the old guy. Like, come on. I have a kid Tyson. I have a kid Tyson's age. I'm 45.
You're only a couple years older than Joe Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's true. But my son is like 2 years younger than Tyson.
Yeah.
Everybody looked good, man. Everybody looks good. I'm excited for your guys' card.
I think people are sleeping on Tyson Roberts a little.
Well,
I get that vibe that people are sleeping on my guy Tyson. And I think that would be ill-advised. No disrespect to Tony, he's looked phenomenal, in his last couple fights. And I know he works hard. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just, and I know I'm biased in it. Tyson's my guy. I freaking train with him. They talk about levels and stuff. It's like,
yeah,
Tyson's been doing this for a long time. And I think people forget that because he hasn't been as active the last couple of years.
He, like I said, it's hard for me to kind of gauge because nobody's really going hard with me up there, but he's, I don't want to give away too much because obviously this is training. He's sneaky, like he's sneaky good. Like he was hitting me with stuff that I didn't see. Like like, what the? Where did that come from?
He hits me with it, right?
Super light though. Nice kid.
Everybody's cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool. No, I'm it's like
I tell you what though. I've been working with Mina for the last few months now. I did feel a lot more comfortable this time than I have been in the past. And I did watch some of those videos and I noticed some things that I was doing wrong. I'm going to work on it. I'll clean them up. I'm going to clean them up.
That's what I wanted the videos for. One, it's going to make a great commercial. He did a great job doing the film editing. If anybody needs that, let me know. But anything like that. But at the same breath too. it helps me see. And I figured I saw some things too that I'm like, I need to clean up,
Yeah. There was a couple things that I'm like, ooh, I need to, that's going to end up hurting if I get caught. Dude, a shout out to LJ, man. He's a freaking amazing coach. I got to do one round up there with LJ, and just his instruction, his coaching, phenomenal. He's a top-notch coach up there.
He's going to come on the podcast sometime. And, and we're going to talk less about, because like last time we had him on, we were talking about his fight, like leading up to his fight and some of that stuff and kind of where he started and stuff. He wants to come on and talk a lot about like growth in martial arts and the way he describes things is he doesn't try and just like teach you how to throw punches. He talks about how trying to build off concepts. And when you teach somebody a concept in MMA or anything in life, and they understand a concept, then you can start doing it from multiple like different ways too, right? Like easiest is an arm bar, right? Everybody knows, you get on top, you swing the leg over the head, you go back and thumb up or whatever. But like once you start learning the concepts of like, well, what if somebody like turns thumbs out and like tries to roll out? Well, that, like there's things that you can do to do that. Once you understand how to manipulate the joints and you understand those concepts, well, now you're dangerous with arm bars from now you can start building off top, bottom, you can pull them off in weird ways. You start understanding the mechanics of how to do flying arm bars, which LJ has taught multiple people at our gym how to do. He helps people evolve their game beyond the basics. And then I've noticed with his help and a lot of other coaches, I'm able to hit submissions and do things from unorthodox positions because I understand if I can get, part of my body to a certain angle or a certain position, it doesn't matter what the rest of my body is doing. Like, cause I can finish from here. And he's really good at that stuff. And so he actually wants to ask me to come on, and he's going to come on at some point and we're going to go over that stuff.
I have a confession.
Yeah.
So when I was working with Mina on Tuesday, I told her, I said, you have to give me a move because I'm going to be sparring with Zack on Wednesday, and I gotta have a move. Give me one move. I won't go into detail what I saw, but because we talked about it. There's a certain move you like to use, and I'm like, this is what he likes to use. Although I was a little off on it, I won't go into detail. But basically, she's just like, just throw the 1-2.
She's like counter for it.
She's like, just stay tight, and she's like, if you just stay tight and throw your 1-2, she's like, you have a good 1-2. It's fast. They won't see it coming. And I did get complimented on it by two people.
Good.
Tyson and Mark both said, hey, they're like, you can throw more than the 1-2. And I'm like, that's all my coach told me to throw.
It's my game, dog.
I was just throwing the 1-2 the whole time. Who cares? Hey, it was good. It's quick. I don't care. So we were getting a little plan. I'm like, I got to get him with something just to say I got him. Well, it didn't work, but
I would have tuned you up, but you threatened to blackmail me with a certain clip that can't.
Oh man.
Can't get out there. It can't get out there.
Can't get out there. But
you blackmailed me.
It was fun. It was a good time though. I like it. I'm excited because I can see myself learning now. Like it's like, okay, I'm learning some things. I think nowhere near your guys' level, but I enjoy it.
Too many quit MMA because they don't see the progression because it is pretty slow at the beginning and it's frustrating and it's hard. But I don't know. We had these two brothers that were coming to our gym and I could tell they were getting frustrated, and it's like, just stick with it. I promise. Because if you do it for 4 to 6 months and then you go against somebody else that's new and you mop them, like you're like, oh, I am getting better, You're
like,
but it sucks because you kind of get mopped for the first 9 to 12 months. And it's humbling and not too many people like to get humbled like that. Jiu-jitsu especially, like, because it just,
And when you say mop, like nobody's like
nobody's pounding you, but it's like but you can feel that you are not on their level.
Yes, that's
they're going light with you.
Exactly.
Right.
I didn't want people to think that I'm up there just getting my butt.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everybody in general. I was there.
Yeah.
At that point in my training, I was in the same place you were.
Yeah.
It's probably even worse.
It is humbling though to sit there with these guys and you're like, this guy could just tee off on me. Oh man, that's why I got my concealed carry. Oh man. Hey, I ain't trying to fight anybody, Zach. Screw that. I just want to watch.
What about Richard Sherman?
You know what? I kind of feel bad. I'm going to say this. I feel bad for Richard Sherman. I don't know what the situation was, but come on, dude. Can we just not blast somebody for freaking making a mistake? Like something that how many people have done every day in their lives? Dude, it's personal family stuff. Like
thousands all over it happens in cities everywhere, all over the country.
He got drunk, maybe I don't know what happened. Either way.
Wait a second. Did he hit anybody?
No.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, did he destroy property?
No.
He pounded on the door. He pounded on the door and was yelling.
Dude, I
mean, not your most flattering moment. Not your most flattering moment, but like, man, they made it seem like he beat the crap out of his wife on the news. That's what when I heard video.
When I first saw it,
I was like, oh, he's done. And I'm like, that he lost his temper.
And the news is saying, all these felonies. And then 12 hours later, you see there's no felonies. There's nothing. It's like, come on. Like, we're really going to, we're going to try to tarnish this guy's name who's done nothing but good, whether you like him or not. He's
most overrated cornerback ever. But
he's a good guy. Like, he's a good dude.
He's smart, went to Stanford, smart, intelligent, educated.
Can you imagine being an athlete and your life just under a microscope? Like, you can't do nothing.
Is the money worth it? Is the money worth it to you? Would you like your life under a microscope but making $20 million a year? I'd take that.
I would take it all day long. Just because they could say whatever they want. It wouldn't bother me. But still, though, eventually I think it does get to some of these guys.
It gets old,
when you're seeing your name getting slandered, and it's like, dude, this is private stuff between him and his family. Let them deal with it. You don't need to broadcast that.
But like I know.
I know you. That's what I'm saying. Now,
you know what I mean?
It's do that times 1,000 if you're a professional athlete. Like
exactly, dude, the whole country, right?
Yeah. Anyways,
did you see how in sync that was? We both took a drink at the same time.
That was pretty good. That was really good.
That's how you know.
Hey,
I'm sure he's probably going to comment on how we're in sync.
Zach, you're number one. Zach's your number one.
Our wives, our wives. Oh boy.
We got a Fierce Challenger series tomorrow down in Price, Utah. Super excited about that one.
Dude, I'm commentating with Jordan Levitt and Chris Curtis. I get to sit at the table. I'm not going to be commentating, but I'm going to be at the table with you guys. So hell yeah. Maybe we could just throw a headset on you. It's like, hey, you got an extra headset? And just throw it on.
Guys,
see what happens.
I'm super stoked for that card, man. Hey, we all from Utah. We love Mitch Ramirez. He's our boy. But this guy's game, Chris's game, man. Chris isn't coming up from Vegas to lose this fight, man.
No,
it's exciting. It's exciting.
Doesn't care. Not afraid.
Care less. Could care less that he's our boy. He's
and I like it. Love Mitch.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he's our guy. We're pulling for him, but I appreciate the fact that this Chris guy's like, I'm coming to fight.
He's like, I don't care.
I don't care who your boy is.
He's a killer and he knocks out everybody. Cool.
Yeah, okay.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Got to see Johan today. I got him his shorts. We had some logos slapped on Johan's shorts. He's the co-main event. We had his opponent on here. He's game. It's going to be a fun card, man.
That's cool. And it was a bummer that Eli came on and broke some news that his fight got pulled off that card, but then we got him on the Steel Fist card with here in a couple of weeks. Like that's what we like to see. We're here for all local MMA folks. That's like, yes, I fight for Steel Fist. Look at this beautiful poster Kevin and Pat hooked me up with. But dude, it's all about just local MMA everywhere. And I think that's awesome that it's like, hey, the fight fell through for Challenger Series. Let's get him on a Still Fist.
Let's get him on there. Got him on there. Now the kid's ready.
And I don't know anything about the guy that he's fighting, but I messaged Kevin and he's like, that Hector kid's good. Like he's going to bring it. And I'm like, dude, that could be another fight of the night for that.
I mean, from what we have, I mean,
Eli
I haven't
looks like
seen Eli
monster.
Kid, but I can tell you we've heard a lot of good things about him. So, dude, your card is freaking stacked and you can't even watch. Oh,
I'm bringing a sleeping bag and I'm just going to go sleep in the back. I'm going to probably watch I don't know. That's a good chill movie. Like maybe I'll go watch Avengers or something.
Gladiator. Watch Gladiator.
300.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Or Dumb and Dumber. Lighten the mood.
Hector and Julian. Oh, Hector and Julian fought. Ooh, that's good to know. Wow. Ooh, so this guy's pretty good done too.
I've heard. I was like, yeah, this Eli Kid, and then they're like, do you know Hector's no joke either? And I'm like, okay, cool.
We get to see some fights,
dude.
Dude, what do you think of McGregor coming out with all this stuff before we break down this card?
Okay, so from a fighter's perspective, I might have a unique perspective on this. One. Okay. Might all be true.
Yeah.
Fair. I think it's true. I do not think he's lying. I think it's the way his foot broke or his ankle or his leg or whatever broke. I think it is very safe to say he did not go. I think that's a safe assumption to say he did not go into that fight 100% because most of us aren't. I'm not 100%. I'm not advertising, but whatever, but I'm not 100% either.
Well, I'm sure Justin's not either. Yeah.
Justin is either because our sport and what we do, and then you do it at least once or I'm doing it, probably I do on average, 10 to 12 workouts a week.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, I'm working out 10 to 12 times. There's a 0% chance I'm going to be healthy after doing that for 6 to 8 weeks. Here's the issue. Once you decide this is my injury, I'm not pulling out, that is no longer a viable excuse for me of, well, I lost because of this.
Yeah.
Sorry, you took the fight, right? I've had my own issues that I've been going through this camp.
Yeah.
I'm not care to talk about it, but I've been going through my own issues this camp, and I made a decision. I'm not pulling out of this fight. I've never pulled out of a fight before, right? I mean, I've talked about it. My third fight, separated and fractured my shoulder the week before my fight.
Yeah.
If I lose, I can no longer say, well, the only reason why I lost is because my shoulder's injured.
Yeah.
Valid. I might have lost because it was compromised. One, but two, I walked in there. You can't take away anything from your opponent.
Can't take it. Nope.
So I'm sorry. I mean, it's the same thing with the Conor Khabib thing. My foot was broke. I wasn't training the way I was supposed to. I want a rematch. No, dog, you could have pulled out. You didn't. Now you have to live with the result. That's what it is. If something happens and I lose to Justin, I can't go back to whatever adversity I had to fight through over the past.
You could. You just look like a jackass.
But you look like a punk in my eyes.
Yeah.
And I can't go back and be like, I want a rematch. I had this going on and I had this going on. I want a rematch. No, I should have pulled out of the fight and then we'll reschedule it down the road if I really wasn't fit to compete.
I think
Conor should have pulled out. How about this? I think Conor should have pulled out.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Neither do I.
I don't want to see a rematch. I don't know about you.
Neither do I. But if he really had stress fractures in his leg, and his game plan was to go in with leg kicks, he should have pulled out. That was dumb.
He needs to.
And now he paid the price for it. And guess what? You don't get a fourth fight. Sorry. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't care. And anybody that says they want to see Conor and Poirier fight again, the only thing you're doing is cheering for Poirier to get a payday, which I'm not mad at because guess what? Conor McGregor's still a giant payday. And people still watch it. I mean, dude, that had 1.9 million pay-per-view buys.
And it was two judges had that at a 10-8 round for Poirier.
Oh, Poirier. I actually wouldn't have given it 10-8 because I think a 10-8 is like zero offense. And Conor had some moments. But I mean, that was a clear dominant won that round. Like no and ifs or buts. You can't. I don't want to say it was enough that I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it again.
True. Yeah, me either.
I have zero doubt that Dustin finishes him in the second or third round. Zero. There's a 0% chance that gets past the third round. Zero.
I agree. Shout out to my daughter Shaylee. Hi Shaylee.
What up, Shaylee?
Watching from Michigan. Send her off to Michigan, and then I never hear from her.
Oh gosh, You big baby.
I am being a big baby. Like my daughter's all
Jaylee,
getting all grown up.
Jaylee, call your dad.
I tried to call her earlier. She's like, I was busy. We were doing this and doing that. It's like, man.
Dude, let her live her life, bro. Quit being a helicopter dad.
There you go. Hi, Zack. She says hi.
What up, kid?
All right. Should we break down this card for tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll go breeze through. Don't be mean, she said.
Don't be mean.
Don't be mean. All right. So first fight of the night in the heavyweight division, Rodrigo Nascimento against Alan Bodat, the Black Samurai. Rodrigo is 8-1, stands 6'2" with an 80-inch reach. Bodat is 8-2. He stands 6'3" with a 79-inch reach. Pretty close height and reach with both of these guys. Rodrigo's a huge favorite, minus 350.
Well, you want to know why? You know why he's a huge favorite?
Because Bodat has zero ground game.
Because Alan Bodat doesn't belong anywhere in a UFC octagon.
Oh, man.
The closest place he belongs is cornering a teammate. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. This fight will not get out of the first round.
Yeah.
Rodrigo, Zikalimia. I don't know what that means, but he looks terrifying. He's at least like won a Contender Series fight, won a fight in the UFC. Yeah, I mean, he trains an American top team. I am going to go with Rodrigo. I mean, there's no question in my mind that that's how that fight plays out.
I'm with you. We don't need to dig into that anymore. Francisco Figueiredo against Malcolm Gordon. Figueiredo, this is obviously Figgy's brother. He's 12-3-1, 5'6" with a 69-inch reach. Malcolm X Gordon, 12-5. He is 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. I am super curious on your take on this one because Figueiredo is a minus 300 favorite. Comeback is plus 245 with Gordon.
So does Figueiredo get extra value because of who his big brother is?
I kind of think he is.
I kind of feel like it. But to be fair, Malcolm X Gordon, he is on a 2-fight losing streak himself and is 0-2 in the UFC. Where Francisco Figueiredo, he's been around. He's had some success, his own success. He's not just writing off just his brother's success, right? He's on his own. He got a win, but it was against Jerome Rivera, who, as we know, hasn't officially probably been handed his walking papers yet. I haven't seen, but I think it's coming very soon. That's his win in the UFC. It's like, he didn't finish Jerome Rivera, and that makes me go, because kind of everybody else kind of did. You know, had a canceled fight with Jimmy Flick, our boy, who retired weirdly and out of nowhere, and then JP buys. That bout was also canceled. So this one for me is, if you're looking for value, I might take Malcolm X, but I'm not going anywhere near this fight because I don't know how good or bad either of these guys really are. I mean, what?
I put Gordon value pick.
I mean, Figueiredo should win this fight. Figgy should win this
exactly.
fight. Minus 300? No way. No way.
I think if you're looking for a little bit of value, there's nothing wrong with sprinkling a little bit on Gordon on this one. I don't hate it. My pick is Figueiredo, but if I'm not saying I'm going to, I think there's a little bit of value in Gordon on this one. Next up, we have in the bantamweight division, we have Anderson Dos Santos against Miles Chapo Johns. Dos Anjos is 21-8. He stands 5'5" with a 70-inch reach. Chapo is 11-1. He stands 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. Miles John. It's got a lot of hype around him.
You know why?
LFA guy had a win against Adrian Yanez.
Really good because he's really good. He's really good. And I look at Anderson Dos Santos, and we saw him beat Martin Day in his, for his first UFC win after dropping his first 2 UFC fights.
Yeah.
And that's great, but Martin Day is no longer in the UFC because he sucks. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. That's not fair. That's not fair. He is not a UFC caliber.
He's not that good.
He's 8-6. He went 0-4 in the UFC.
Yeah, you got it.
He's basically Jerome Rivera before Jerome Rivera. So, thank you. Have a nice day. I think Miles Johns is being one minus like 175 or whatever. I think that I love that. And I would say he is one of my stronger picks of the night. I really like Miles John in this spot. I think you're getting insane value with him.
I actually already have him in a little parlay that I did earlier this week. I'm all over Miles John.
Love Miles John here.
Next up in the bantamweight division, we have Khalid Taha and Sergey Morozov. Taha is 13-3, stands 5'5" with a 69-inch reach. Morozov is 16-4. He stands 5'6" with a 67-inch reach. What are you seeing in this one, Mr. Partridge?
Well, what I see is a guy named Sergey from Kazakhstan. So there's that. But he's actually the underdog in this, but it's a pretty close fight. His last fight, he lost to a guy with the last name Nurmagomedov.
Nothing wrong with that.
Khabib's cousin. Okay, that was your UFC debut. That's not fair. Lost to his loss before that outside of the UFC, Mosar Evlovov. Like last I checked, that guy was pretty good. making a bunch of noise in the UFC and still undefeated. Like the guys that he lost to, I mean, he lost to a guy that was 13-4, 9-2. Those are his losses. His 4 pro losses are to studs.
Yeah.
Sergey is. And now I go over to Taha, the Warrior. He's from Germany. You know what? I like a little underdog action here in Sergey Morozov, and at plus 130, 135-ish. I think he wins the fight, and I just think he's fought the tougher opponents and has I think he's been challenged more. And I'm looking at the guys that the Warrior has fought and beat. I don't think he's fought as stiff a competition outside the UFC.
That M1 fight promotion, they bring some guys from that
M1.
Isn't didn't Yuri come from there?
Yes.
He was in the M1. I'm with you on that one. I am going to go Morozov on this one too. I like the underdog, and he's from Kazakhstan, so
he's from a stand. Like
he's from a stand. All right. Next up in the strawweight division, we have Amanda Lemos against Montserrat Ruiz. Lemos is 9-1-1. She stands 5'4" with a 65-inch reach. Ruiz 10-1. She stands 5 foot tall with a 61-inch reach. So pretty big height and reach advantage for Lemos, and she's a minus 550.
I believe she's the biggest favorite on the entire card.
Huge favorite. I think Makhachev might be slightly
bigger.
It's close. It's close.
But I mean, it's, you know why they're that big? It's pretty much when you start seeing numbers like that, that means it's the other person is a freak. It's like a freak accident away from a win. Like that's their hope, is a lucky punch or catching a super slick lucky submission. Amanda Lemos is better everywhere. She dominates this fight.
Why is Ruiz getting this fight with this girl that's like, this is only Ruiz's? She took a short notice fight in her first UFC fight, right? That was Buys a short notice? No, I don't think.
Yeah, no, it was short notice. Remember the
dominated Buys.
Dominated her.
Dominated. She does that little head throw.
That's all she does. And that's her whole game. So here's the question. Can Lemos stop that? Because if she can, Ruiz hasn't shown anything else.
I'm with you. I'm going with the experience. I'm not betting it. I'm definitely not throwing out minus 550.
Never.
Because
what if Ruiz does? What if she catches her in that headlock and hits that throw?
Which could very well happen. We just don't know enough.
But like I said, I do not believe that fighters can be one-dimensional. We saw it with Ryan Hall last week. Even if you're very good at something, if you're too one-dimensional in the UFC, it's just not going to take you far enough.
We'll see.
It's just not.
I think Lemos wins though. Next up in the welterweight division, which is Zack's new division. We have Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez fighting Preston Parsons. Rodriguez is 14-2, stands 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Parsons is 9-2. He stands 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. And if I'm not mistaken,
D-Rod's a pretty good favorite for good reason.
I think Parsons is taking this on short notice too. Yeah, D-Rod's was supposed to fight Nurmagomedov too.
Yeah.
Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
So Parsons kind of throwing him. Is this his first UFC fight? Yes, he's making his UFC debut.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? That's not a bad thing. Homeboy that fought O'Malley's like become a superstar overnight because of it.
Crazy.
Kid's a stud. Like, he's beloved. Man, if he takes that momentum and runs, he's gonna be a star. Off of a loss.
Off an ass whooping. Record-setting night.
It's official. Richard Sherman got 5 misdemeanors.
Like, come on.
Nobody cares.
Come on. Nobody cares
about misdemeanors.
He got
misdemeanors.
drunk.
You know what? I think they should make a rule. Misdemeanors should be handled in the home, not public.
Let that stuff stay in-house.
Yeah.
It's like my drill instructor said when I first got to boot camp. You meet your senior drill instructor, you call him daddy. He's like, what goes on in our house stays in our house. You don't be calling your mommy. Don't be calling daddy.
You call him daddy?
He was daddy. Sherman is a scrub, Mario.
He's the most overrated quarterback of my lifetime.
Chris Munda got 136 followers. So holy crap. Damn, Zach, will you go take a fight in the UFC and just get your ass kicked so we can get 136,000 followers?
Sure. Hey, Usman, I'll beat you.
Sajin.
Usman.
Our boy Sajin.
Oh, wow. Look at
the silent assassin. We're going to start calling Sajin the silent assassin.
The third member of Damage Plan.
You guys don't know it, but Sajin is the man.
Put in the work behind the scenes.
Go click on damageplanmma.com and you can thank him for that.
Sajin Champ Knees.
Yeah.
And don't call him Sagan. Funny story. Okay. Sajin. When he first started working for, me and Sajin, first he was like our manager and our head detailer for Detail Sharks. And then because he's ambitious and awesome, he ended up buying my business partner out and we became business partners in the business. And it's worked really well. He's like a little brother to me. We've gotten really close. He let me call him Sagan for like 4 months, maybe 6, until my business partner's like, dude, I think you're saying his name wrong. I think it's Sagan. I'm like, no, I call him Sagan all the time. It's got to be his name. He would have corrected me.
Oh man, hey, turd. Those people that say this generation doesn't know how to work, there's guys out there.
There's guys. There's guys.
He's one of them.
There's not a lot of them, but
not a lot of them out there. But he's a good dude, man. Glad to have you on board, Sajin. Yeah. We just told everybody that you're our partner. Yeah, we were supposed to keep it silent, but it ain't silent anymore, Sajin.
Yeah, dog.
Anyway, like Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod winning.
He looked so good against Mike Perry. He pieced Mike Perry up in that fight. And I think he takes this momentum. This is way too fast for Preston Parsons. I think D-Rod dominant decision or gets the knockout in the second or third round, I think.
So D-Rod wins inside the distance is minus 140.
Yeah, I think second or third round knockouts coming. Big Mark.
What's up, Big Mark?
Kung Fu Panda Mark.
I actually like that too. I actually might throw down on that right now. I like that win inside the distance. All right, let's get cracking. Oh, we're on the main card.
Oh yeah, dog.
Main card. First up in the featherweight division, Billy Quarantillo against Gabriel Benitez. Quarantillo is 15-3, stands 5'10" with a 70-inch reach. Benitez is 22-8. He is 5'8" with a 71-inch reach. Kicking off the night, and I believe Benitez is taking this on short notice as well, because Billy Q was supposed to fight Herbert Burns. And
I think that would have been a better fight for him, unfortunately. But as the underdog, I am still taking Bill Quarantillo. Billy, one thing that I've noticed with him, I don't think he does anything like special.
Yeah.
But one, he's good everywhere. Two, he has a gas tank. How do you not like a guy? He literally gives himself a chance in every single fight because he never gets tired and he's competent. He can hang with really good strikers on the feet. He can hang with really good grapplers on the ground. Hello, Gavin Tucker didn't submit him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yep. Gavin Tucker controlled the fight. He beat him, but that was his first fight or his first loss in 4 years against Gavin Tucker. I like Billy Quarantillo here a lot, actually. And as an underdog, I think you're getting really good value with him. Yeah. I think he should actually be a slight favorite here. Gabriel Benitez, I know he's a professional fighter, so hopefully he's always staying ready. He'll fight with a lot of heart, but let's look at the reality of it. Beat Justin James. We all know Justin James took that fight on super short notice.
Yep.
Lost his 2 fights before that. And you know, and then he's beating a bunch of guys that aren't in the UFC anymore.
And he's not super active. I always like to look at that to see how active these guys are. He did take 2 fights last year, but then you're a year between the next 2 fights. 2 fights in 2017, then another year, then another year. He just doesn't seem to be active. He's got to win against Clay Collard.
I know, but that was in 2015, dog. Clay Collard hasn't been in the UFC in 5 years. Love Clay.
Something tells me that'd be a little different right now.
Beat his, if they fought right now.
I'm with you.
So I like Bill. I like this matchup, and I'm going with Billy.
I'm already got that one locked in. I'm with you.
Locked it in.
Next up, we got Rodolfo Vieira needs to change his name from the black belt hunter after his last fight against Dustin Stolfus. Homeboy got tapped by the black belt, blue belt.
Yeah.
Vieira is 6. He is 7-1, stands 6 foot tall with a 73-inch reach.
Man,
Stolfus, what's that?
The disrespect of you are the man, the black belt hunter, and homeboy Armin guillotines you as a blue belt. Dog, you cut too much weight. And guess what? What are they doing? He's fighting right back down at 185. I cannot, in good conscience, put money on Rodolfo Vieira ever again until I see that he can manage his cardio and doesn't gas himself in the first round like an amateur, like we see in some of these still fist fights. That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous because he was winning the fight.
Oh, he dominated the first round, but guess what? Didn't get the finish. Yeah. If you dominate and don't get the finish, and then you have 0 left into your gas tank, you're a freaking black belt hunter and world-class grappler, and you get submitted by a blue belt with an arm and guillotine, which is for those, I mean, a guillotine one, you get it like that. That's good. Arm and guillotine, like that takes some setting up. Like,
yeah.
Man, you don't get arm and guillotine super easy against high-level jiu-jitsu guys.
He was just gassed.
That being said, too, I would bet that he wins this fight inside the distance. That would be my prediction. I am not betting it because what if same thing happens again? I'll lose my mind. I will lose my mind.
Yeah, definitely not betting this one.
I'm picking him. He's not anywhere near my DraftKings lineup. He's not anywhere near my bet slip.
You're like, nah, pass.
That's right, a hard pass.
We're both on Vieira on this one. I actually like the inside the distance as well, too. And this very well could be the fight of the night. Mateusz Gamrot against Jeremy Stevens. Gamrot, the gamer, 18-1, 5'10" with a 70.5-inch reach. Little Heathen, 28-18. He stands 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. This one very well could be the fight of the night. What are you thinking?
Jeremy Stevens has to win this fight. He is on a officially on a 4-fight losing streak. But he's also lost to Jose Aldo, Zabit, Yair Rodriguez, and Calvin Kattar. What? So he lost to what? Like 4 of the top 6 featherweights in the world?
Dude, look at you go back to some of his Moicano, lost to Frankie Edgar, lost to Max Holloway, lost to Charles Oliveira, this guy's fought everybody.
Eve Edwards, Donald Cerrone, Anthony Pettis, Melvin Gilliard, Gleason Tebow, Joe Lozon.
This guy's fought everybody.
Dean Thomas. He's been fighting in the UFC since 2007.
Crazy.
And he's lost to all those guys. But then he's beaten tough guys like Josh Emmett, Doo Ho Choi, Gilbert Melendez, Henan Barao, when Henan Barao was a mother, just a monster. Yeah, beat that Henan Barao. The one, Dennis Bermudez, who was a monster back in 2015. Darren Elkins, who doesn't ever goes away. Like, he doesn't just lose to elite guy. Like, I am taking Jeremy Stephens and the plus 185. I love Jeremy Stephens.
How much you putting on it? A unit? 2 units?
Just a unit.
You're going to be down a unit.
You think Gamrot gets the finish?
I think Gamrot gets the finish. The kid's a stud.
I know he's a stud. But dude, best quote ever. Dana White about Jeremy Stephens. He brushes his teeth violently. He knocked the dude out at the face-offs his last fight. He won that fight at the face-offs. He pushed him so hard.
Yeah, I'm all over Gamrot on this one. All over him. I don't know about the minus 220 against a guy like Jeremy Stephens. I do like the little bit of value in Stephens. I just don't.
And here's the other thing that I do like. Okay, this is the other thing that I do like about this fight. It's at 155. Jeremy Stephens is cutting no weight for this fight. I like that. He's fighting at 155. Jeremy Stephens is 35 years old. He's 5'9". And he's fighting Gamrot, who's 30, and he's 5'10". Like, it's not like, he's not Jeremy Stephens is not going to be an undersized 155er to Gamrot. And he hits like a Mack truck, dog.
I agree. I'm not arguing that. I just think Gamrot's going to be the better fighter tomorrow night. Is it tomorrow night? It is tomorrow night.
How dare you?
All right, so we disagree on that one.
Very much so.
Next up, Marion Reneau against Misha Cupcake. Cupcake is back, baby. Reneau 9-7-1. She is 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. Cupcake is 18-7. She stands 5'6" with a 66.5-inch reach. Cupcake's minus 145. She's a slight favorite. Comeback is plus 215 for Reneau.
Man, this is a hard thing to bet because we haven't seen Misha Tate in 4 years.
4 or 5 years? Yeah.
5 years. I know they're calling this Misha Tate 2.0.
She looked phenomenal at the weigh-ins, like in
phenomenal
shape. I just saw a picture of it, but she looked phenomenal. I'm looking it up right now. Yes, super lean. She looked good. Didn't look like she didn't look drained.
So it's no secret. I love Misha Tate.
So you're taking Misha Tate?
I love Misha Tate. She's been one of my favorite. She's probably been she was like the first female fighter that I was like a fan of watching her fight. The way she won the belt, like, still gives me goosebumps when you go back and watch that fight. She was losing that fight to Holly Holm. And finally, oh gosh, here we go. You know what? I hate Misha Tate. I hope she loses. I know my wife's piping in. No, it's just, I just think the way that she won the belt, she was losing that fight, and her rivalry with Ronda Rousey, it pretty much put women's MMA on the map because she was game. And she wasn't afraid of Ronda Rousey. And I thought it was, I think she's very inspirational, and I like the way that she fights, and I like how she won the belt in a fight that she was down, and she took took Holly Holm's back, and she literally put her to sleep.
Oh yeah,
a rear naked choke in a fight that she was losing in the 5th round. Who pulls off a win in a title fight with a minute and a half left in the fight and pulls off the submission like that and puts her to sleep? It was crazy. And Holly Holm was riding this high of she just knocked out Ronda Rousey. It was just the perfect storm. And this is one where I hope we don't look back and be like, she should have stayed retired, because I'm terrified that if she climbs back up and fights Amanda Nunes again, she's going to get murdered again.
Yeah.
But have you followed her personal life at all?
No.
So she was dating Brian Caraway, former featherweight in the UFC. Very toxic. Brian Caraway got arrested for trying to steal stuff, was stalking her. She left him for Johnny Nunez, who was a local fighter. I mean, it was there was gym drama with it. It was kind of crazy. But Brian Caraway kind of went crazy with things, like got arrested for stealing ATVs that he said was his. I didn't know that. Yeah, said they were his, but they were hers. He just like showed up at the house and just jacked them, apparently. Like, just crazy. And she just talked about how like toxic her life was. And right as she became champion, like her life got like super toxic with her relationship and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And now she's got a good life and she's in a healthy relationship, she said. And so I hope that this means that she can be a better version of herself. But I mean, we said it with Connor, and just because Connor's life has gone wonky, it's pretty hard to have 2 primes as an athlete. And as a mother and everything now and time off, all these girls have been training the whole time. She's not super old. She's 34, but I mean, it's pretty hard to have another run in another prime. But if somebody could do it, I think Miesha Tate could. I'm cheering for her. I think she wins this fight. I think Marion Reneau, she's on a 4-fight losing streak herself.
4-fight losing streak, yeah.
And hasn't been super competitive in those fights. And I'm just, I think this was a handpicked. Remember when Connor, they fed Donald Cerrone to Connor?
Yeah.
It was like they handpicked Marion Reneau to give Miesha Tate a good win to come back to.
Man, it's tough, man, because I like the activity of Reneau.
I get that.
Even though she's on 4 losses, you don't know where to. I got to stay away. I mean, everything is telling me just.
Oh, this is a stay away. Like
bet the value on Reneau, but I don't want to bet against Miesha Tate. I'm with you. I'm pulling for Tate.
It's a great story, great comeback story. Her name is Cupcake.
You've
been living under a rock.
Who's the best? Shevchenko, Valentina, and Amanda Nunes. Those are the 2.
I mean, we've had that debate on here. You flip a coin, dude.
Flip a coin with those
pound
2.
Pound for pound, I'll take Valentina, but you can't really argue what Amanda's dominance in her run that she's been on.
Yeah, and then you got what's her name in the PFL too, Kayla Harrison's.
Oh, how about that? Kayla Harrison, who just murders girls. But to be fair, so does Valentina. So does Amanda Nunes.
Are we both on Tate then?
I think officially we're both on Miesha Tate.
Okay. I'm watching the face-offs while we're talking too.
Oh, nice.
It's just Billy Quarantino, Benitez. I feel really good about the Daniel Rodriguez one now after watching that. All right, main event time.
Hey, by the way, D-Rod also trains with Nick and Nate Diaz, so like that.
Says about these fights, Mario says.
What about the Chinese?
One of them just got knocked out.
What about the Chinese female fighter? Well, I think he's talking about Weili Zhang.
Weili Zhang, yeah, she just got knocked out by Thug Rose is the champ.
Yeah, Thug Rose is on a different level. I think when Thug Rose is right, she's the best strawweight in the world. Sorry, Joanna. Sorry, Weili. Sorry, all y'all. But nobody.
Yeah, I don't even think it's. Yep.
And we were all over that. For the record, we were all over that before the fight.
Picked it, cashed it.
Underdog, Thug Rose.
Islam Makhachev. I'm like having a hard time pronouncing these names today. Islam against Thiago Makhachev. Yeah. Moises. Makhachev is 19-1, stands 5'10" with a 70.5-inch reach. And then you got Moises coming in at 15-4. He stands 5'9" with a 70.5-inch reach as well. Huge favorite for Makhachev, minus 720. The comeback is plus 500.
You know why he's minus 720?
Because he's good.
Because he's the next Khabib.
And he's from Russia.
He's the next. No, like when I say we're waiting for the next Khabib, he's the next Khabib.
Everybody's super high on this guy.
Nobody wants to fight him for good reason. Tony
Dude,
Ferguson would still rather fight Khabib than this guy.
I really wanted to try to give Moises at plus 500. Because I love those odds. But after watching what Makhachev just did to Drew Dober.
And didn't just beat him, mopped him.
He mopped him. And Drew Dober's legit.
Drew Dober's legit.
And he made it look easy. I mean, where does Moises win?
Nowhere.
How does he?
Nowhere.
I mean, okay, he's probably a jits guy, right? I'm assuming he's a jits guy.
Great. He's going to get smashed. I'm going to smash your boy. I'm going to smash your boy.
My favorite line. I know you don't like this. Tomorrow night, I smash your boy. Dude, look at Thiago Moises is just ankle locks, submissions. What beats jiu-jitsu?
Heavy pressure wrestling.
Heavy pressure wrestling.
Doesn't stand a chance, dude. Sorry, Thiago Moises. Hey, the ball's on you. Congratulations. The ball's on you for taking this fight because nobody else wants it. Ranked opponents don't want it. It's a no lose for him. He's supposed to lose the fight. Look at that. He's a plus 500 underdog. If he somehow pulls off a miracle win, then good for you. Like you're swinging for the fence and you're gonna strike out. But hey, like, go for it, dude.
So what are your betting picks for tomorrow?
Okay.
Who are your locks for tomorrow?
Well, we don't lay minus 700 because that's silly. Yes, it's new. We know it's he's gonna win. You can tie it to everything. Like there's no path for victory for Moises other than Makhachev throwing a leg kick and breaking his own leg.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. I hope that doesn't happen to anybody ever. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, no. Maybe a unit on, Jeremy Stevens. I like Jeremy Stevens.
See, I'm all over Gamrot.
That's cool.
I actually have Gamrot and Johns. Johns, and I had Phil Hawes in a little 3-team, but Hawes' fight got canceled. So,
I will probably sprinkle just a little bit on Vieira inside the distance, very small.
I like that.
Whatever. I will be putting a little bit on Billy Quarantillo. I think that's a good fight.
I like that.
I like if you're building a nice little parlay, I think D-Rod, that Amanda Lemos and Islam, you're probably getting pretty close to even money on that 3-teamer. Maybe if you want to look at that, Sergey Morzov, probably put a little bit on that. Miles John. Miles John. I do like him, and Rodrigo Nascimento. Like, yeah, give me figure out a parlay on that.
I like it.
Cool.
What about DraftKings? You got a DraftKings lineup for us?
I do.
You got to pull that back up. Let's get it.
Okay, you ready? Got your pen?
Yep, I got my pen. I'm going to put it in right after this because I always forget.
You might not like all of it.
That's right.
But it fits into the budget nicely. Okay?
Okay.
So first, we're going to go with Miles John.
Okay.
Then you're going to go with Sergey Morozov. Another nice little value is Billy Quarantillo.
Billy Q. Okay, I like Billy Q.
D-Rod. Daniel Rodriguez is 8,800.
D-Rod, I like that.
You need to make this work. You need underdogs. So Jeremy Stevens is on my lineup.
Okay.
And if you want to make something else, figure it out. Go for it. And then that leaves max bet, max budget, Islam Makhachev to wrap it up.
That's a pretty good. That's a tasty DraftKings lineup.
Tasty DraftKings lineup.
Who Jeff wants to know who Islam fights after this. You got to give him a top 10 guy after this, don't you?
Well, it's not who does he fight, it's who fights him. He wants RDA.
Give it. I like that. I love that RDA fight.
RDA don't want to fight him, dog. He keeps turning it down. He turned it down twice.
If he wins this fight, which we assume that he is, let's just say he wins this fight, you got to throw him in the top 5.
Go. Okay, but who takes the fight? Here,
Chandler,
you talk about that real quick.
Chandler
Gaethje.
takes
He's
the
got to fight Gaethje.
Gaethje, Chandler. If they don't match, if Chandler and Gaethje don't match up, Jeff, I think you give Islam Chandler or Darush. There it is, right there. Give Darush and Makhachev if Makhachev wins tomorrow night, which we assume he does. Then if he wins that, I mean, you got to put him in a title picture after that, right? Maybe another fight. I don't see Dan Hooker. I don't like the McGregor. It's either Dos Anjos or Darush for me. Give me those two. One of those two. This guy, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a lock that this guy's a champ by the end of the year. Well, he won't be because Poirier and Oliveira are still going to fight by the end of the year. But after that, you could see this guy fighting for the title next summer, early fall. If he keeps winning, it's scary, man. It's scary with all this top level talent of all these Russian guys that are coming over. It's making people step up. Got to step up. Got to have your A game up. Who do you guys got in the main event tomorrow night? Throw it in the comments who you guys like in the main event. Anybody giving Moises a shot at plus 500? Does anybody like that? Leave your comments in there if you think Moises guy has a shot tomorrow night against Makhachev.
He doesn't.
I was saying Makhachev should fight either if they don't make the Chandler Gaethje fight, give him Darush if he wins. Give him Benny. Give him Benny.
Remember, Benny's taking time off.
Yeah, but you got to figure he's going to need at least a few months. But maybe the end of the year you make that fight. Why not?
I like it.
How messed up is that lightweight division, man, at the top?
What do you mean?
I wouldn't say messed up, but you got – first of all, I think Dos Anjos should be above Ferguson. But that top five, man, Charles Oliveira, Poirier, Gaethje, Darush, Chandler, you throw in RDA, you got Makhachev. This division is just –
You ready for this? You ready for this? You're going to hate this.
What's your hot take right now, Zach?
Dariush doesn't belong at number 3.
Why not? How do you not put him at 3?
I think RDA's done more and is better.
You think he's done more recently?
Islam beats Dariush right now.
You feel strong about that?
Yeah.
Beneil. What is he?
Like, I have a question. If Beneil Dariush and Justin Gaethje fought, and I know they won't because they've trained together and they're kind of like teammates, don't you think Justin Gaethje smokes him?
I don't know, dude.
I think he smokes him.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 7 wins in a row.
Oh. Okay, Ferguson had what, 13, 12?
Yeah, look at him now.
Don't look at me like that, Jason.
What's his big? Well, if you're looking at it, what's his biggest win? Now that I'm looking at it, he did beat Thiago Moises 3 years ago. He beat Drew Dober a couple years ago. Jakar Close, Frank Camacho, Scott Holtzman, man. Diego Ferreira,
it's
man.
Not Murderer's Row exactly for 155ers.
I don't know. We need
right?
to get
Hey.
See, even Jeff thinks he's crazy too.
Thank you. We finally agree on something, Jeff. Let me throw another one out there. Are you excited for Robbie Lawler, Nick Diaz too? You're not?
As a fan, yeah, I am excited for it. I'm not like flying out of my seat for it.
Who wins? Robbie Lawler's lost like 5 fights in a row. And Nick Diaz hasn't fought in what, 7 years, 8 years? Hasn't won a fight in a decade.
I think the fans win. That's who wins. We're going to win as fans because I think it'll be a fun fight.
What if Nick comes in and mops up Robbie and it's like he just inserts himself right into the 170 title chase again?
That could very well happen.
I think there's a
very well happen.
Not that there's a very good chance.
Not that he's beaten any of those guys. He doesn't beat anybody in the top 5, in my opinion.
We don't know. We haven't seen him in forever.
I don't care. That just even further nails home my point. I don't even think anybody in the top 10. I don't think he beats anybody in the top 10. Yeah, for real though.
I'm sure that was really loud.
It was really loud.
I'm so sorry. I'm over here fumbling stuff.
Who does he beat in the top 10? Jeff Neal, Bilal Muhammad, Neil Magny, Jorge.
He could beat Jeff Neal.
You think?
Yeah.
Hands of Steel lays him out.
We've never seen him get laid out, dog.
I would love to see Nick and Masvidal.
Masvidal beats him.
I think he beats him too, but I think it's a huge fight.
Huge fight.
Nick's just coming back from money fights. He's not going to be in any kind of title contention. He's basically McGregor. Let him and McGregor fight.
No.
He's just way bigger than McGregor, though, isn't he?
Way bigger. You ready for this?
What?
Nick beats Jeff Neal. He beats Damian Maia.
Damian Maia? Where's Damian Maia? Oh, he's 11. We haven't seen him.
I think if Nick wins this fight against Robbie Lawler, we see him fight Jorge, and then then we could see him fight for the title. If he beats Jorge. I'm dead serious.
Oh man, the guy hasn't had a win in 10 years.
Could you imagine if Nick Diaz comes back and freaking wins 3 fights and is holding UFC gold after all this time?
He's 30. Yeah, no.
It happened, dog, but it's fun to think about.
Wonder Boy versus Nick. I guess
now stylistically, it would be probably a pretty fun fight.
You know what's crazy?
How's Nick getting the Nate treatment though? And did you see he got it as a 5-round fight too?
People want to see it. People want to see him fight. I don't know what he's going to bring to the table.
Watch, Robbie Lawler comes out and he starts trying to do the Stockton MF Stockton, and Robbie just clanks him and just drops him and puts him in sleep.
I mean, if I had to pick, I don't know.
Are there odds out yet for this?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't.
What are you even? How do you even base odds? We haven't seen him in forever.
I don't know how you can, dude. Who do you have? I don't want to talk about Nick. Earl Spence, Manny Pacquiao next month.
Earl Spence pieces him up, dog.
I think so too.
He's almost Manny.
He's almost minus 210. That's about as close to an even fight in boxing as we've seen in a long time. Usually it's like minus 5,000.
Boxing is dumb.
That's a good fight though. No.
Let me reiterate it. Boxing is dumb.
Why is it dumb?
Because the sport's ran by a bunch of morons. I mean, you want to be mad about Logan Paul and Jake Paul and all this nonsense. The only reason why they're in the position to get to where they are is because the rest of the sport is a joke. Yes, this is a good fight, but guess what? Name one other guy on the card. Name one.
I don't even. Yeah, nobody. I don't.
You've never heard of anybody, right? They don't even have co-main events. Nobody cares. No, nobody cares. I mean, you hear this nonsense? Did you watch the T Wood Jake Paul press conference?
No.
Did you hear what Jake said? This T Wood is the guy that I can fight that'll make it 3 rounds and will actually hit me in the face maybe a couple times. And I need this fight as a stepping stone to get to Canelo in the next couple of years. Jake Paul thinks he's going to get in a boxing ring with Canelo.
See, zero chance he gets. I don't care what he does for the next 5 years of his life. He is never getting to Canelo's. He ain't even wrapping Canelo's hands.
But time out. Say he gets to 8-0 and he could make Canelo a giant payday. Does Canelo take that fight just to starch him?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't see Canelo doing that.
I would legitimately buy the pay-per-view to watch Canelo start.
What if Canelo just could only throw
and
body
Jake Paul
shots?
2-on-1. 2-on-1.
What if Canelo could only throw body shots?
He'd drop him inside 1 round. He'd maybe two.
Punish him.
Maybe
Punish
two.
him.
That dude would be pissing blood for a month.
Oh, man. All right.
Dude, let him fight Ryan Garcia, that tiny little guy.
Ryan Garcia would probably piece him up too.
Piece him up.
There's no chance these guys are fighting a real legit boxers.
No. Here's the thing, Jason. This is where I think you're wrong. I actually think Jake Paul thinks he's going to make it as a career as a professional boxer.
You think so? You think
I think he does. I think he does now.
People are hyping him up that much.
Time out, though. I mean, do you think he has one person that's a part of this world and reality in his corner that's being a voice of reason in his ear? Does he have one person in his life?
Probably not.
No, he doesn't have one person in his life.
Jeff, you're right. He did get to fight Floyd, but it's 10 years past Floyd's. He ain't fighting Floyd in his prime when Floyd was fighting.
And
Sugar
Floyd
Shane.
came out and admitted that the fight was fixed to go the distance. Canelo ain't doing that, dog.
You throw him in there when Canelo was fighting Mosley or somebody like that, and he just gets pieced up. Or like a freaking, which one did I watch the other day? Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at Cupcake. She looks good watching the weigh-ins.
I'm not watching the weigh-ins, Jason.
She's easy on the eyes.
Oh, that's why you like her. I just like her fighting spirit.
Sure, Zack.
It's true. It's true.
Dude, Makhachev is huge. Holy shit. Dude, he's so huge. Wow. I didn't realize he was that much bigger than Moises.
He's yoked up, dude.
He puts his arm around him to take a picture. Oh, he looks like Khabib, dude. He looks like freaking Khabib.
I told you he's another Khabib.
Yep. See, even your wife is calling you out.
Sure, Zack. You brought it up and you threw me under the bus right in front of my wife. You know what? Blackmail or not, next sparring round, you're getting 2 right down the pipe.
Okay.
Just for that.
All right, I'm just telling you, I'm working, Zack. I'm working. It's coming. See you guys on Monday. Are we done? Is that it? Do we have anything else to talk about?
I'm out. You're gonna
all right
before you get me in more trouble. Hey, no, real quick. I do have an announcement.
What's the announcement?
I gotta give a shout out to my guy Lucas Hill. So Lucas, he works for ES Solar, and they do solar. He's one of my sponsors for my fight, but they're the largest residential solar electric contractor in the state, and they have programs that combine solar with battery to give your home full self-reliant product, so that if hey, there's another earthquake and the power goes out, or natural disasters or whatever, your home is a standalone power source and you will not lose power. And for a limited time, you can even get the power company to help pay for part of your battery right now. There's rebate programs so that those batteries can get pretty expensive, and they help with all that. Lucas is professional. He's been in the industry for years, and he's been around, knows what he's doing. So if anybody needs solar or is interested in it, hit up my guy, Lucas Hill, 801-609-1419. Tell him the Damage Plan MMA podcast sent you. He'll take care of you, hook you up.
Love it. Love it. Lucas Hill, reach out to him for your solar. All right, man. See you Monday for the breakdown, and we'll be able to talk about some fierce fighting.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get to do your fighter interview. See you guys next week.
See ya.
We out.